I think the microphone's actually on this week. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube. It's the Iron Thunder Racing Network bringing you back for the 7th round of the Iron Thunder Racing League VRX GT3 series. We're at the penultimate event of the first season of the GT3 series. Here from Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta, depending on who you call it. I'm Alex Lowe, here in the booth tonight, as we get ready to go for 1 hour from this famed, now NASCAR owned via IMSA. I did learn that one. Racetrack here in Atlanta. Let's go ahead and give you a quick look at the track layout for tonight. This is a very terrible picture, by the way. I thought it would look better, but it did not. But it will do what we need to do here. Thanks to the SCCA Track Night in America. Found this picture on Google. We got 12 drivers here tonight. I feel like there's more like 11, 13, depending on who you ask. This track has everything. It has a bunch of S's here. 2, 3, 4, up to 5. And then it's got two 90-degree turners and 6 and 7. With a couple of straightaways. It got a front straightaway, and then like a middle straightaway, then a back straightaway up through 8, 9 into 10A and B, which is kind of like your little bit of a quick left-right. Turn 11, which gets you to pit entry, and off into turn 12, which brings you to the start-finish line. Let's go ahead and get a quick look at your points coming into tonight. Mathematically, there is a way that Eric Chapeau could have locked the points up tonight, but currently sitting here with about 7 minutes, 10 seconds left in qualifying. He's not here yet. It was for him to pretty much come here tonight and run the race. I think he would actually need to win the race to mathematically lock it up. But with him not being here, it gives an opportunity for Luke to close in on the points. And Oliver still to pretty much be there in the points battle. He's currently sitting there 5 points back. As he did mention in his post-race interview last week, there was a chance he was going to miss this one. Kevin Hash, he would pretty much need to win to bring it within 18 points. Same thing for Brandon Hamertai. We need to win to bring it within race win. Drivers not showing up. Mathematically eliminated is 6th on back, 75 points back. Big Bang Clusers, Rob Stewart, they both actually gained spots last week on right now, who dropped 2. Paul Smith gained 4 points last week, and there was a new point scorer in Sawyer Ott. Still your 4 scoreless drivers, one who's registered and ran laps in all 6 events, being the number 44 machine of Chris Gale for Shoulder Boys Racing. Right now, they're currently qualifying. They got about 5 minutes left. Taking a current look at your provisional times. Let's go ahead and show you those times. And it looks like Luke Carbonell would be on the provisional pole about half. About 5/100ths of a second here right now, currently on the pole lap. Taking a look at things. Out of the 11 drivers who have registered, 7 have turned a lap. Smith, Stewart, Ott, and Ott have not put up a time yet tonight. Again, we are at Michelin Raceway here at Road Atlanta for round number 7. We're going to go ahead and head over to Chris Stapleton for the national anthem. And we will come right back and go over your starting lineup for tonight's 1 hour event.
Stapleton.
Oh, say, and you see by the dawn's early light, oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad strides and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular get through the night that I planned was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
Again, thank you to Chris Stapleton and the Super Bowl national anthem for providing us with our American national anthem tonight. We were going to do Canadian national anthem, but I lost that clip while moving things over via hard drives and whatnot the past couple days. So we will make sure we have the Canadian national anthem next week when we're at Road America. We just unfortunately do not have it tonight, which I kind of feel sad about, you know. But with about 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying, it's Luke Carbonell, the provisional pole sitter. He took that 500ths of a second here and now brought it up. We need to turn that down for it. Hang on. That's ultra loud. Alright, that should be much better for you guys. Took that about 500ths of a second pole time, now brought up to about almost 0.4 of a second over Brandon Pamitat, who did have the fastest time. He currently is now sitting on pit road. Might be calling it a session here with 1:45 to go. Kevin Hash at one point in qualifying did have the fastest lap. He's currently out on track right now, seeing if he can improve from that P3 spot he's currently in. Ray Rittenauer, another Mercedes driver. So we got 2 BMWs and a couple Mercedes in a row here. He's currently sitting 4th fastest on the speed charts. He's almost a full second off. Brian Kusterhus doing what he pretty much does, come out here and being pretty consistent in race trim and whatnot. He's currently sitting P5 on the board. 1.2 off the provisional pole lap. Dylan Hale, who did come out and run some laps last week, he's currently sitting P6 here at the Michelin Raceway here at Road Atlanta. 1.6 off. He did have, I think, the fastest lap for the majority of practice here today. Rob Stewart in his Ferrari, the first Ferrari we'll see here on the speed charts. Currently seeing P7, 1.6 off as well. Chris Gale, 2.6 off. I don't know, he has about 45 seconds to try to get around the track. I don't know if he can. Another Ferrari of Paul Smith. Has not registered a time. Sawyer Ott and Treston Ott have both not registered a time here in today's qualifying session. There's 11 drivers for 10 spots worth of points. Luke Carbonell trying again to close in on that gap. He's 35 points off. And now with about 19 seconds before we go over your actual starting lineup, your official starting lineup, let's not forget to mention that starting in a little bit less than 3 weeks, September 11th, live from the Daytona International Speedway, ITRN will bring you the 7th season of the Iron Thunder Racing League Truck Series. It's a 12 race schedule. We're currently open for new drivers. We held a recruitment race last night, Monday night, from Daytona. We'll be potentially doing it again next Monday night. So if you're interested, keep an eye out on your hosted sessions here on the iRacing.com Motorsport Simulation. We go Daytona, Atlanta, Bristol, Watkins Glen, Michigan, Nashville Fairgrounds, and end the regular season off at the Charlotte Oval. Longest race of the season, by the way. And then the playoffs will be a 5-race chase, so your top 8, 10, 12 in points will be competing in a original better format of the chase. Most points scored at the end of the 5th round will be your champion at Homestead. 2 mile-and-a-half, a road course, a short track, and the biggest track on the schedule, the 2.66 beast known as Talladega. Again, if you are interested and want to sign up for the 7th season of the Truck Series, the Iron Thunder Racing League Truck Series, go ahead and reach out to one of the admins. Go ahead and join into the Discord. I think it's discord.gg /ITRL. You can visit the Internet Racing website at internetracing.com, and that will get you to where you need to go. As there's about 45 seconds for drivers to go out here and finish their lap if they're on track. Looks like Carbonell, Klusterhuis, Stewart's on track, Paul Smith. So it's Carbonell who's currently on track, and Brian Klusterhuis on track trying to complete their lap here, see if they can get any faster than what they did. Carbonell, he was off track there, so it doesn't look like he'll do any good. And Brian Klusterhuis, I think he more likely might be coming out here and just trying to get some more laps in as well. As it looks like the clock will run out. Tell him, too bad you no longer have any laps to run here at the Michelin. Hang on. There we go. There we go. We're just trying to clear my chart here for you. Well, we'll go ahead and go over your starting lineup for tonight. Round number 7 of the GT3 series. Well, and here is your starting lineup. Actually, we'll go over results. Carbonell and Pamitat will be your front row. In row number 2, we'll see Kevin Hash and Ray Rittenauer. In row number 3 will be Brian Klusterhuis and technically Dylan Hale, but he is in race admin, so he will not be starting right tonight. In row number 4, we'll see Rob Stewart and Chris Gill, Treston Knott, Paul Smith, and Sawyer Ott. 3 drivers who are not turning a lap tonight are your final 3 starters. Like I said, only 1 driver not in the field tonight will be not scoring points, as there's only 11 of us here tonight. From the Michelin Raceway at Road Atlanta. Again, here's your Mecha cars. We're getting kind of a facelift coming into the truck series, by the way. There'll be some new graphics made. We're currently working on them. I wanted to debut them tonight, but they were not quite done. We might have them ready to go for the season finale next week at Road America. So far, it's only been 3 different winners according to our points schedule. We'll go ahead and take a look at that again. 3 different winners, and it's SFTV, the guys who locked up the constructor title in Carbonell, Turcotte, and Drapeau. Carbonell with 3 wins. Average finish at 2.8. He's the worst average finishing driver out of that stable. Turcotte with an average finish at 2.0. All 5 races he's done, he has 5 top 10s. And every single race that Drapeau's done, he's finished in the top 5 and top 10. But it sounds like we have some issues already on track here. Might have... I don't know what's the problem. Huh. Oh, I didn't set... I don't think you guys can hear the voice yet. I don't think you guys can hear them. Well, there seem to be some issues on the warm-up lap. Looking currently here at your starting lineup. Starting on the track tonight will be your first, second, and third places. 4th place, Ray Rittenauer. Looks like he may be starting from pit road. 5th place, Klusterhuis is on track. Like I said, Dylan Hale is not starting on your grid tonight. Rob Stewart, Chris Gales also on track, and Paul Smith. So we right now don't have 4 cars on track of the 11 registered drivers here tonight. Probably one of our smaller fields for this other races this season. We are missing Drapeau and Turcotte, top 2 in points, giving opportunity for this man right here, your provisional pole starter tonight, and Carbonell to potentially claw back into the points battle. Also opportunity for Hash and Pamitat to claw back in. Pamitat kind of more, I think, out of it now, as he did not score the pole position tonight. But if he does finish with a clean race, there's a potential. But there seems to be some checking up. Here, hang on. I'm just making sure. Yep, it's going through chat, so you're not hearing this. I'm just worried that y'all were catching that. And I don't want you to catch the in-race chat, because I can hear the in-race chat. I look in the in-race chat. Got a multifunctional headset, but they're coming downhill here. I guess we can go over to track facts and weather real quick. Never mind, they're going to go ready to go racing here. Off at turn number 12. The green flag is out, and we are racing from Road Atlanta. I did not know we were on track. That's kind of my fault. Kind of orderly here, top 3. Klusterhoos trying to look on the outside, inside of Kevin Hash. Getting ready to go through the S's here. This is the first time I think Hash really has had an opportunity to do anything. This is Paul Smith was driving slow, but I don't think he was. And it looks like things are starting to actually get spread out. Pretty decent start for Carbonneau here, as he's going to go ahead and pull into about a second lead already over Pamitat. As we're going to potentially sit here for an hour and watch a dominating race from Carbonneau. Kevin Ash sitting here. P3 settling down right now. Battle for 4th early on could potentially be something here. Stewart is closing in on Klusterhoos in his Ferrari. And it looks like just things are calm for now. Right now, we're just start from pit road, but he's right here. He's not too far off. He's 2 seconds off the car in front of him, which is Paul Smith in his Ferrari. Ooh, he really sent it in there. Oh boy, that was almost contact. And you kind of can see there. Let's watch the instant replay. Oh, Gil almost got rear-ended there, and that could have been bad. Could have had some angry drivers. Oh, we have trouble! Stewart, Klusterhoos around. Klusterhoos is able to keep it going. Stewart, unfortunately, loses the last spot and has damage. We will go ahead and go back about 20 seconds, about 30 seconds here, and we'll watch this instant replay. See what unfolded here. Like I said, it looked like Stewart was closing in on Klusterhoos into turn 1, just drove it a little bit deeper in than he needed to. Like I said, Klusterhoos was able to keep it going. It looked like he got the damage from what looked to be hitting the inside wall after driving in a little bit too deep. Or where did he get that damage from? I didn't look like that would be enough to do damage to the front end, but his front end is pretty damaged. You can see the left part of it there. And his Ferrari is now sitting back in 8th place out of our 8 runners on track right now. But Klusterhoos was able to be okay. He's still in 4th, but he lost a lot of time now to Kevin Hash. Can Stewart rebound? He does have a quick fix to take, but taking a look here, we'll look from rear chase. That front end of that Nationwide Ferrari looks to be pretty damaged, so could be an uphill battle from him from here on out. But there still is 56 minutes remaining in tonight's event. The battle for 6th is starting to close in a little bit. Oh, there's trouble for Chris Gale. He goes around. Terrible season keeps getting worse for that 44 machine. Let's back it up here and watch what happened. This looks to be in turns 2 and 3. Oh, it just does not get slowed down enough going into the S's, and he's just trying to avoid hitting the wall, which he did there in his Sun Energy number 44 Mercedes. Was able to keep it going and get an opportunity for Stewart to gain his spot back. Still 20 seconds off. Now Gale is 25 seconds off and has an even steeper hill to climb here for him tonight. Again, now it's a battle for 6th. Sorry, battle for 5th as Rittenauer is closing in. Gale apparently has more issues. Let's watch what happened to Chris Gale here. He runs wide and look to run into the wall there. This looks to be one of those 90-degree turns into the grass, which you're not stopping in that grass. You're going until the car stops itself. Paul Smith, and no, he also has like to be the same issue. This time, turn 1. A little bit too much speed carried in there, and a little bit of a kiss there for his Ferrari. Takes the mirror off. Oh man, it got some front end damage. He went ahead and looked like towed. So 2 cars out of our 6 in the field tonight have issue, and that pretty much eliminates the battle for 5th on the racetrack. Brandon Pamatat still sitting in 2nd place, so it's very firm, nice, solid 2nd place here. Only about a second off of Carbonell, who just set a new session fast time here. A 1:19.217. And says Dylan Hill is having issue, but doesn't look like Dylan Hill is having issue, who will be our 9th starter in the field tonight. Pamatat looks to lose some time here on Carbonell here through the S's. And it looks like what I've seen in practice, that little bit of a runoff there off the S's there seems to be a little bit of a time gaining spot. I've seen a lot of drivers gain some time through there, as it was mentioned earlier on today. Gale gains a spot here by exiting pit road on Paul Smith, but they are a lap down to our lead lap drivers, who are 1st through 6th on your scorecard. If I had to guess, I mean, with this fuel load about 50-60%, it's going to be a halfway pit stop kind of night, as Dylan Hale is. I think that's just him. Yeah, it's just him coming to pit road, ran a lap, came back down pit road. Is what it is. Probably just came in and gave himself some points and be another point scorer on the season, potentially before Chris Gale. But there's only 9 drivers. Gale's looking to potentially score some of his first points on the season, which I'd be happy if Chris Gale got some points. But right now, a gap here about 7 laps, 6 laps into the short little run we got going on here, about 8 minutes in. It's been maintaining around 1.2 between Carbonell and Pamatat, and the rest of the field is just there. And unfortunately, it looks like Carbonell's incident-free race will come to an end as he gained it off track that last time, going through what looked to be the S's, or at least a 1X for him. Chris Gill also got a 1X. Paul Smith is currently driving slow. Looks like he's getting back on track, and Chris Gale is having more problems. More of a struggle. This time looked to be the front straightaway. The first straightaway these drivers come on to on the racetrack. The shorter, I think it's short. Oh, it's coming off a corner exit. Oh, that's a hard hit. That's a vicious hit. Oh, man, that's gotta be a broken front toe link. As he has pulled it into pit road. And he'll sit there again. A rough night gets worse for that 44 machine of Chris Gale. His teammate, though, that 94 machine of Brandon Klusterhuis, his brother Matt Klusterhuis, did not come out here tonight for round number 7 of the GT3 series. Is currently sitting in 4th. I would probably say, taking a look at the points, a little bit better than his average finish. 2 positions better. So a nice early run, about 9 minutes in for him. Looking at tonight's race, they're going to be about 46 laps. So, before we doing this, we're going to get our track facts in here. It's about a 3-mile length course, 12 turns. According to our track map, 10A, 10B could be confused as 11, 12. It could be a 13 course track. Opened in 1970, and like I said, it was now owned by NASCAR via the IMSA Holdings LLC. NASCAR owns IMSA, so NASCAR gets to own this track. The weather for the drivers here tonight, it's currently about 2 weeks ago. Yep, 2 weeks ago, August 15th, and about 3:30. It's a mostly cloudy day, about 71-degree track air temp, with a nice hot track of 102. No humidity this week, but a wind out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Likes to be a pretty stable wind at 5 miles per hour. Doesn't look like it's much of a breeze kind of wind, it's just like. And by the way, the gap out front has doubled in the last couple of laps here. It's gone from 1.2 now to 2.6. So the Carbonell looks to be putting in some pretty decent laps. And when I mean pretty decent, he ran on 119.3 compared to a 120.1 being the second fastest lap that last time by the 76 machine of Rob Stewart, who still's out there. He's probably trying to get this to at least one of the fuel windows. I know there's certain potential like fuel window marks for some of these drivers, like getting to a certain point within the race. I know we saw it at Daytona with Kevin Freeze. I mean, you can try to short pit it, whatnot. I don't know the 100% fuel mileage for this race, as I didn't hear any rumblings about. But there could potentially be a potential to run it a little bit shorter, make it a two-stopper. But Stewart right now is staying on the racetrack in that damaged Ferrari and putting some of the faster laps here. Pamitat did run a faster lap than Carbonell last time by a 119.4. As Smith did get a little bit off track there. That's another incident point for him tonight. Everyone else was in the 120.5 and worse bracket. A couple 121s here from right now are this here's Hash. Kind of can see that. I mean, they're in the Mercedes, so they're all kind of running the same consistent lap times. That's what's going to be added for the Truck Series. The Truck Series again starting in a couple of weeks, September 11th. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Oh boy. Till the Truck Series returns. We might get a last lap score pile up. Carbonell's trying to do what he can. He's trying to go out here and lead as many laps as he can. Unfortunately, he lost what looked to be the clean race bonus, that 3 extra bonus points. So that's going to hurt his potential points earnings, as, like I said, Turcotte and Drapeau are not here tonight. Turcotte said he had plans going on this weekend. I don't know what's going on with Drapeau. I don't know if this was a planned or unplanned miss, but it's currently affecting him, as he did have a chance to come in here tonight with Turcotte missing to clinch the first season of the GT3 series points. It was going to take him on the max points day do it, but he had an opportunity to come in here tonight to clinch points. Don't look now, but Brandon Kloosterhuis is closing in on Kevin Hash. Last lap, he ran about a second faster. He ran a 120.7 to a 121.7 here for Kevin Hash. So he's slowly reeling him in. He's currently got that fishing line out there. He's getting a little bit of a bite here and there, but then not enough to really reel him in. And you can see going into what looks to be 10A and B. I think that's the part of the track we're on. I believe so, because we're coming through 11 and coming to 12 this time. I need the part of the track with only looking at the track map once. I like it. But he's closed in. He's closed in a lot. I don't know if there's a potential fuel saving situation going here for Kevin Hash. I mean, he ran 2 seconds slower with a perfectly clean car than Brandon Kloosterhuis. Don't look now, but Kevin Hash might be on some of his well-known strategy calls here. His teammate Rittenauer, defending Premier Series champion, Premier Series targeted beginning in 2024 is nowhere near that time bracket. So I don't know if Kevin Hash is currently just struggling. Scarpino did have a couple off tracks there, but he's lost a lot of time here. It's about 3 seconds. Now it's down to 1.5. Something tells me he's either A, doing something he's well known for in saving field strategy, or B, he's just majorly struggling. His Kluster who struggled that time into the 10A and B. But he's going to come out of it this time by at the line 1.6, 1.7 off third place. And that time's a little bit more consistent with the rest of the field there for Kevin Hash at 120.8. Kluster was a little bit faster, but almost about a half a tenth, 500ths of a second faster with a 120.769. So I don't know if Kluster was just struggling a tiny bit, as looks like that 68 machine of Dylan Hill has re-entered the track. He is 10 laps down, but he's only 2 laps behind Chris Scale. So you can go out there. Oh, he did up. Oh. What? Sir, that track's not clean. That track, part of the track's dirty. Sir, you're currently ruining your tires. We're just gonna go back here. What's becoming a potential battle for third place between Hash and Boosterhoose. As Panotan has fallen 4.5 off the lead here. I mean, currently the only driver kind of keeping pace in terms of lap time. He ran a 120.047 last time by, and Boosterhoose was by 4/10 of a second faster than Kevin Hash on his last lap. And I don't know what Dylan Hill is doing. He's down on pit road. So whatever he's doing, he's having a fun time. We are 13 laps in. Again, my timing and scoring says about 46 laps. So we're right now about 34 to go, 33 to go, with about 17 minutes done, working on 18th minute here tonight. Boosters has lost a little bit of time here, unfortunately, to Hash. He lost a little bit of time there last time by. Hash ran on 120.1 to 120.2. So it looks like whatever struggles Kevin Hash was having is no longer there, as it's like he's figured out what he's got going wrong. But Closer has closed in a little bit again, back down to 1.1 seconds. So I don't know what's... I'm still trying to figure out what led to Kevin Hash being almost 2 seconds off majority of the field, 3 seconds off the leader even, in Dylan Hale. I do not know what the 68 machine's doing. I mean, he's currently on pace, taking a spot. He's just, but whatever he's doing, it's not even on the racetrack. He's taking some of the dirty part of the racetrack, and it just doesn't make sense. As he comes back down pit road, and this time we'll put him on the same lap as Chris Scale, who's currently sitting on pit road right now, probably fixing the right front damage he has. But entering into the S's here for Klusterhuis, he's about 1 second off. Almost within that FIA DRS zone, but there's not DRS in these cars, so try that again. And by the way, it's still Carbonell out front, that 918 machine, that SFTV BMW is just going for a Tuesday evening drive like he is currently just trying to drive his BMW in real life. As it did get underneath a second there for a split second for Klusterhuis, but he had a terrible corner exit there. Falling to 1.5 now off of Kevin Hash. Must have been a terrible that corner exit. As Carbonell just said now, a even faster lap of 119.048. Right now he's for sure got that set. Rob Stewart also set his fastest time of the session of 120.148. So a couple drivers that last lap did set some fastest lap as Paul Smith is back on pit road. We'll go back 20 seconds, see what happened to that number 12 Ferrari. Oh, it just got loose on him through the S's and pow. That's a hard hit into the tires. And if this was, in real life, I don't think... That's hard, man. It looks like maybe that rumble strip upset the car and just... Pow. Oh, right on the edge of that. I mean, at some point, Ironson's got to adjust those tire wall physics to make them a little bit, softer in real life, so you're not completely destroying your car. As Klusterhuis is really within Kevin Hash for the battle for third. Hash looks like he might just let him by here on the middle straightaway, the longer straightaway. Actually, this is a back straightaway. So going into 10A, it looks to be the AMG Mercedes of Brand Klusterhuis off the P3. So we got Luke Carbonell, who's coming out here saying 1:18.7 as the fastest lap. Brandon Pamitat, whose name is Brandon, and another Brandon, and Brandon Klusterhuis in your top 3 right now. By the way, unfortunately, Paul Smith's night might be done after that severe damage he took there from his incident off the S's. But right now, with only the 9 drivers turning a lap in about 12 minutes and 17 laps in for some of these drivers, it may not make a difference, as Dylan Hale is coming back on the track and Kevin Hash is back to running 2 seconds slower than the majority of the field. It's some sort of fuel saving strategy, I think. That's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it fuel saving strategy indeed. As Dylan Hale is running. Oh, that's cool. Oh, Carbonell ran out 121.3 his last lap. Kevin Hash currently 2.7 seconds off of his average pace. Oh, this isn't... I need to update because my speed's currently in kilometers. I want in miles per second. Miles per hour. This is actually a cool feature. So this time, Kevin Hash has to be saving fuel or something. Because he's now... Shreps ran out 124.092 as Pamitat has problems. What happened to Pamitat? And this is in the S's. Oh, clip the grass. Oh, we're going to see the same thing that happened to Paul Smith. This time he's able to save from the inside wall and doesn't hit much. So there's no damage, it's just a time loss situation. And unfortunately, that's going to cost him about 6 seconds there. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, we do have a 10th entry into the field tonight. The 35 machine Sawyer has gone out into the racetrack. Oh, and you can tell this is his first lap on the track. So I don't think he ran any laps in practice. As Chris Gill, unfortunately, is still just sitting on pit road looking like fixing some damage. Carbonell, again, he's just out front having a Sunday drive. That 121 lap was just a fluke because he's back down into the 119.2s. About a half second off his fastest lap of the race, but he's still running some pretty decent lap times, as this lap time is currently about 0.3 of a second. It's just average pace. I don't know what it means by average pace, so. But it's currently showing 0.3 seconds off. As Kevin Hash is showing a half a second off, while Stewart's showing a half second up. So whatever his average is, so Hash is 0.7 of a second faster than his average, 0.8 of a second faster than its average. So again, I think it's some fuel saving strategy for him. And it says Sawyer crash. But I don't think he crashed. I think he's still going perfectly fine on the racetrack. No problem. Sister is still 14 seconds off of Pamata after his mistake. We're at 120.8 his last time by. As we are approaching halfway in tonight's event, it doesn't feel like we've been here for a half an hour, but we've been here for almost a half an hour tonight. If you guys enjoyed what you've seen so far, make sure you guys click that like button and subscribe. You don't want to miss next week's championship event and the upcoming truck series, and maybe even some Gen 4 cars too. There's currently not much of a battle going on the track, as Dylan Hill did increase his gap to Chris Gill by 4 laps. As Carbonell comes to pit road, this might be a tiny bit early, as it's just past, just before halfway. Habitat's also on pit road. So with them coming in with about 27 minutes down, 33 to go, this potentially means it's a 2-stopper. I mean, looking at about 6 minutes ago, we should see these guys come back down pit road as Brandon. Oh, is it Sawyer who's off track? Yeah, Sawyer Ott's really off track. I heard that in the background watching the pit stop of Carbonell, but Carbonell has come down pit road. He's off of pit road. He spent a whopping 21.8 in his box. Brandon Pamitat a little bit longer, second longer in his box. Close to who's currently in his box. But yeah, looking like 20 to 21 laps might be the stint. Oh, they show tire? I did not know they show tire, but they don't show. Oh, it also shows fast repair. So it shows Chris Gill's used their fast repair. It looks like Rob Stewart, who's came down pit road, used his fast repair. Paul Smith did use his fast repair. So, oh, this is cool. This update gets me to show that they use their fast repair. That's cool. As Brandon Cluser has a problem. He's crashed. No, and this isn't the S's. Brandon, no, and he toes. Alright, Brandon, unfortunately, I have to watch this and see what happened. He got a pretty decent amount of that inside curve there. Oh, and he just carried a little bit too much speed. Oh, that's a hard hit in a non-safer barrier wall. Yikes. Watch this again. This is like right off a pit exit. Yeah, it sounded like he got a lot of that there. Again, he's on cold tires. It's after he got off the pit road. So, oh, that had to hurt. He's trying to get it going, but that AMG Mercedes is done for. Don't tell me he called it a night. Brandon, don't tell me you called it a night. You still have an opportunity. You still have a faster pair left. Brandon, no! Oh wait, it looks like Ray Ritenour is still on track. He has not come down pit road yet. He's on lap number 21 of his stint. So he's potentially... He might be the only car. He might be the only one in the field tonight that could potentially be good as he... Oh no! That's a hard hit. Driver's side. No. But he took his quick fix. He should be fine. Like I say, he might be the only driver who has an opportunity to make this race on one stop. Now that little bit of an incident on pit road is gonna cost him some time. So I'm half tempted to, by the way, to pull up the 25 machine at Brandon Clusterius and just ask him why he quit. I'm really half tempted to pull him up into the booth. He's still in the chat room. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna move him up here. Brandon Clusterius, this is Alex Loop in the Iron Thunder Racing Network booth. Do you have a copy?
Go ahead.
Brandon Clusterius.
Hello?
Hello! I have a question for you.
Sure, fire away.
Again, we're live over the air. What happened? Why?
Just cold tires. They got me. I was running hard, trying to get a podium. First podium for us, but it wasn't meant to be today. Just heartbreak.
Now, here's a very important question. Why'd you disconnect? Why'd you leave?
Just, once after the tow and you're going to get back, we weren't going to really gain any spots. And
But you're
look
now
like,
in potential risk of losing spots.
that's sometimes just the way she goes. The battle, the fight, it's, just the way of the battle.
Now, while you're up here in the booth and we're talking to you, how was your race going before you made that ultimate terrible mistake of wrecking the car on cold tires?
It's going great. We're looking at getting a podium, but just wasn't made to be today.
One of these. There's always next week at Road America, Brandon.
Yeah.
What do you plan on doing the rest of your Tuesday evening here?
I gotta go back to the farm, put in a shift, and make the family proud. I didn't do it today on the track, but I can do it in other ways, and I'll get it next week.
I'm very upset with you, Brandon.
I'm upset with myself, but ask not what I can do for you, but ask what you can do for your race series.
Now, before I go ahead and let you go back down there and talk to whoever's in that chat with you, anything you want to say to the viewers watching at home?
Thank you for supporting and watching. I'm sorry I couldn't finish the deal, and make something of this car there. But we'll get him next week, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the race. It should be a good battle.
Thank you for your time up here in the Iron Thunder Network Racing Network booth. We'll see you next week, Brian.
Thank you. You have yourself a good night, and thank you for all you do for the league.
Unfortunately, that is DNF driver Brian Klusterhuis talking about his unfortunate crash on cold tires, which I knew that's what he was going to say. Anywho, he does have a potential here to lose a couple spots. I mean, Dylan Hill is currently working his way on the racetrack. He's up to potentially passing for P7. The rate he's currently going, he just needs to complete 7 more laps, which is right now a field run for him. And he'll be passing Klusterhuis for 6. So Dylan Hill has potential for 2 spots there. Now we watched the instant replay because it said Payment had an issue. Now we're gonna go back to this, but I don't think Payment actually had an issue. Oh, he ran off the course. There's the issue. I didn't see that in that replay as we were talking to Frank Klusterhuis. He just ran off the course. So it wasn't really a wreck. It should just said off track, and that's where my timing screen needs to get better. As it really ran wide there into turn 12. So that was the issue we saw there with Hamertat. Kevin Hash is now back into his podium position here. 24 minutes remaining here after he got past Rob Stewart. Rob Stewart did have a podium finish earlier this season. Ray Ritnar. Right now, currently the only car on track that potentially could make it on one more stop. His current stint's 3 laps. Everyone else is double that, 6. So right now could be the only car that could be not having to stop. But here's the issue: it's not going to be a race winning move though, because he's going to be about 14 seconds still behind Carbonell when it cycles out. By the way, Dylan Hill did complete that pass here. He goes ahead and moves up to 7th. As the other 2 of our DNF drivers tonight in Chris Gale and Paul Smith are currently sitting 8th and 9th. It says still on track, but he's on pit road. He just needs to run another 2-3 laps to pass Gale, and another 10-11 to pass Smith. The 3 laps I could see him being able to come out on track and do perfectly fine with. The 10, yeah. By the way, it's still Carbonell out front. He did allow another driver there on his pit cycle coming in only a lap. I think that was Hash and Rittenauer. But right now, doing the math, he pitted with about 33 minutes left to go. That's about a little over 10 minutes ago. That's not going to be enough fuel to make it here. He potentially might need to either A, save some. He does have a 19.1 second lead. Potentially go out here and save some fuel. Potentially make it to the end without needing to make one more stop, or coming to he inevitably is going to do and make a splash and go pit stop. And right now our closest battle on track, by the way, is the 2.5 seconds between Kevin Hash and Rob Stewart. Right now, every driver who's currently on the lead lap right now is going to be able to score top 5 points, as our top 5 are on the lead lap. Ray Rittenauer being the last car on the lap in 5th. With about 21 minutes left to go, let's go ahead and watch a couple onboards here. We'll start with the 92 machine, your race leader, your pole sitter, Carbonell, as he comes ahead and goes down the little short chute. What looks to be into, we're gonna picture this. This is a 2 right-handers, so this is the middle straightaway coming into the back straightaway here. So this is 5-6 coming into 7-8, 9 into 10A and B. It's up to 5th into what would be a DRS zone and a DRS enabled car. Gets down to 2nd gear here. Ooh, up to third in the middle of the... I'm gonna call that a chicane. Interesting. And this is a fast right-hander. You can see he gets up to 5th gear. So it's pretty much turn 12 is a very fast right-hander into a very fast, a little bit, I guess, a tiny bit slower compared to turn 12 there, turn 1. Runs a little bit wide here. Through the S's now. I didn't know they're going down to 3rd gear here. It seemed to be a little bit slower part there, that last S. Getting ready to come back into turn 5 and 6, where we kind of took over for him. And it looks like another track where they're not really getting down into 1st gear. 1st gear not really necessary. Potentially right there could have been potentially a 1st gear exit point back into the back straightaway, coming back into turns 9, 10, 11, 12. And now on board with 2nd place. Another BMW here. We'll watch what he does, see if he does anything different. Again, it's just listening to the car, it's potentially low enough RPM where it could potentially dip down into 1st gear, but no one's really dipping into 1st gear between these two yet. We do have 2 more makes of vehicles on the track we can go check out. We're going to check out Mercedes next and then the Ferrari. But in a second, in that weird shift up to 3rd there, I didn't think that was a that doesn't seem like a shift up to 3rd point. That's interesting. Into turn 1, down to 4th. A little bit slower, the right-hander. Getting ready to go into the S's. This is where we've seen Cloisters have his issues on that, coming back up the speed lap up pit road. Now getting right into the slow part of the S's here, coming back up the hill to turn 5. This is where we've seen these guys making up some time here, as they're able to run a little bit wider there. Pamitat, we see him get down to 3rd here, now into 2nd. He does get down in the 1st there. He did feel like it was a 1st gear that time. You know, as a lap with 2nd place Brand Pamitat. Let's go ahead and ride a lap around. And you already tell it's a different sounding machine in Kevin Hash. First gear potentially? Nope, no 1st gear that time. Down the longer straightaway, the back straightaway here. See if he gets up to 6. He's already up to 5th gear. Does get up to 6th gear before entering 10A and B. Gets all the way down to 2nd. I don't know if the Mercedes just has a little bit more downforce where you don't need to shift into middle 10A and B there to 3rd gear. When we saw Carbonell and Pamitat do it, they were shifting into 3rd gear in the middle of that corner. One of the faster right-handers here goes ahead and gets through perfectly fine. Down to 3rd, coming through the S's here. We've seen shift down to 3rd as it's a slower part, but has a lot of room to run off there. Coming back through the middle straightaway. 3rd gear, we'll potentially see a shift down to 2nd right about now. And this will go back down to the back straightaway. The Ferrari of Rob Stewart. Let's see what he does. And again, different sounding. I think he might be able to get up to 6th gear. Yep, he gets up to 6th gear. Now into 10A and B. Yeah, I'm just thinking maybe because the BMW might have potentially a little bit less downforce or something. You didn't see Stewart or Hash shifting to. Oh, he's shifting down to third through here. Interesting. That could have been because the lap car of Dylan Hale there. We'll go ahead and watch his onboard too, because I think you guys will enjoy his onboard. Through the SS, he's through fourth gear through most of this. Again, you're gonna see him run as wide as he can. And you can see Kevin Hash up in the distance here. But down in the third, we should be seeing a shift down in the second here, coming through six. That was a lap with Rob Stewart. Now you're gonna enjoy a lap with Dylan Hale. You might not, but just watch his steering. We're not gonna watch the gear here. We're gonna watch his steering as he's start currently because he started from pit road. He's on a controller, by the way. I'm gonna mention that. Dylan is race control. He usually doesn't come out and race these races, but you can see in the road car it's a little bit better because you know it's a road car, and you can kind of drive it like in a video game. But he I do believe he is on a controller. By the way, it's that goes and moves him up to 6th place. Because Chris did lose at least one spot. So I did go out there and get 9th from Chris Gale. As long as there's not another driver, but kind of really seems kind of impossible at this point. As for them to come in here low quick. I mean, there's only one other driver that can do that, and I think that's the 15 machine of Tress and but I don't think he's gonna do that. He passed him, so for the first time this season, I can firmly say that Chris Gale's gonna score points. But yeah, this is a little bit less exciting than I thought. I thought we were gonna see some more look at the hands type of moments there for Dylan Hill. I believe he's on a controller. But Pam Attack, he's gonna go ahead and come down pit road. About 13 minutes left, trying to see if he can come in here and potentially get that fuel into it. Took 7.8 seconds worth of fuel. He's back out on the racetrack. Didn't lose a spot coming back out on the racetrack either. Pretty much that the first driver on pit road. Of the cars who did pit early, now the only other car on track that might be safe to make it to the end is Sawyer says he has an issue, but I don't think it's an issue for him. He by the way is a different car on track, so we can kind of see what he's doing in this Porsche. We'll go ahead and go on board with him. No, it's not in a Porsche. He's in a BMW. Never mind. We've seen plenty of these today. As the majority of the field's actually in a BMW. But Pamwich has made his pit stop. If things were to cycle out, he'd still be 20-ish seconds behind if Carbonneau does the same thing. Just take enough gas to make it. As Stewart looks to have some struggles here. But it doesn't really look like he's having struggles, so he looks to be perfectly fine. Yeah, Pamitat. I don't think him coming in early is going to be a race-winning move for him. Unfortunately. But it could be a potential situation where it could now be the battle for second. We do have to question that. Because what if them coming in on lap sorry, I'm trying to remember. They came in with 33 minutes to go, so 27 minutes into the session. If things were to continue to run out, they would run out about 6 minutes left in the session. Stint-wise, it'd be another 5 laps until Carbonell and company would come into pit road. But again, Permatash is not gaining time. Unfortunately, he's just kind of maintaining time. As we're under 10 minutes left to go here in round number 7 of the GT3 series here for the Iron Thunder Racing League, sponsored by VRX. And then we'll be back next week, next Tuesday night, September 5th, from the virtual Road America Speedway, my home track. So I kind of don't need to go anywhere. I just need to make a 4.5 hour drive, as Sawyer had issues as he's off course. This is in turn 1. Does he keep it out of the wall? No, he didn't keep it out of the wall. Damn. That sucks. But he's back on pit road. Probably made the right choice to tow it. Dylan Hale. He went 21 laps. So 21 laps looks to be the max most people can go. Which I don't know. Huh. So if that's the case, we should be expecting Carbonell again within the next 3 laps. And Permatash again is not closing in on Carbonell either. He's losing time to him. So he's kind of right now trying just to maintain second place. As the battle for second is starting to, I guess, heat up. But Kevin Hash needs to pit within the next 4 laps. And again, they're running 119s around here, so 4 laps. Let's say 420. They're running about 1 minute 20 seconds around here, so it'd be about 4 laps, minute 20 a lap, minute 22:40, 4. So he wouldn't need to pit until about 2 minutes left to go. Unless he saved enough during that first stint. As Rittenauer did go a lap down. And it's Carbonell come lap down. So unfortunately his strategy now is to potentially hopefully run longer than Stewart can and pass him, but Stewart had an issue, which we'll go watch through the S's. Oh no, this is gonna hurt. Pow, that's the same spot we saw Paul Smith have his problem. Backs up, keeps it going. Doesn't cause any damage to anyone else. Does he still have a quick fix left? No, he uses fast repair. Unfortunate. Unfortunate to see. But he comes down pit road, so he will relinquish 4th place over to Rittenauer. As it's still potentially the battle for second right now. As Hash is still trying to reel in Habitat. And we should expect Carbonell on pit road potentially this time. He might be hearing box this time. That I'm not real sure though. I don't think he's really saved much for fuel. And again, they came in 3 minutes before halfway. So I mean, even if they run 30 minutes, it'd still be that 3 minutes time short, about 2.5 laps short. We already saw Habitat. He knew he was short on fuel, and he came down pit road. He came down pit road about 5 laps ago. And see, up here comes Carbonell, right on cue, into lap 20, coming to about 4 minutes to go, a little bit less than 5 minutes ago now. So Carbonell's down pit road. So we'll see how much time he spends here. If I had to guess, it's gonna be about 22-second gap. To Habitat right now is exiting 5 and 6, going up to turn 10A, and Carbonell is leaving its pit box even less time than I thought. Carbonell did get almost like about a whole second less in fuel. So it's gonna probably relinquish about at the same time here, about 26 seconds here. So Habitat coming early, I guess, wasn't really the call, because it didn't save him or gain him time on the track. Now, the one to really watch here, I guess there's 2 drivers here to watch. Never mind, there's only 1 driver still left to watch on the track who has potential. No, I don't think he has the potential right now to gain 5th place, 4th place, 3rd place. He's, unfortunately, I think he's going to be stuck here. Yeah, he's going to be stuck here in 4th place. As when it cycles out, he'll be about 6.9 seconds behind Captain Hash. So I guess he's a car to watch right now, because he's the only one potentially that could make the distance on one stop. We just see him go 20. First stint, he went 23 laps. Him being a lap down right now, it went 24 laps. So I mean, he's got about 2 laps to go. That's Carbonell right now, is exiting the S's, getting ready to go down the middle straightaway here into 5-6. So I mean, I guess he really just needs to survive 2 laps. I think he potentially could survive 2 laps. Let's go on board with him and see if there's anything that potentially. I mean, it says fuel 0.0. Fuel. Yeah, I guess it won't tell us fuel remaining. So I mean, it is a potential of a smart strategy move for him. I mean, it's gonna give him a 4th place finish, as long as he doesn't run out. And if he does, it's hopefully within a spot where he can coast and not lose 16 seconds to Stewart. By the way, Carbonell should be on about 2 to go. He should be coming next time by. He should be taking the white flag. And maybe he should have 3 to go at most. Taking a look at things here. Yeah, fastest lap, by the way, was a 1:18.7, 4/10 of a second faster than the next fastest lap. Yeah, through what looks to be turns 5, now into turn 6. Yeah, we should have about 2 laps to go when he comes to the line this time. And looking at Rittenauer, I think he should be golden to make this on a one stop. At worst, he's going to come home with a top 5 finish. And as long as everything goes smoothly here for Carbonell, who comes in through turns 11 into turn 12, we'll get actually the white flag this time. The flagman was waving the white flag. It's 1 lap to go. So, 40 will be completing 45, coming to 46. And Carbonell, I think he's going to earn a ton of points back in the points battle. He came in tonight 35 points behind Eric Japot. And with Turcoat not running, gives an opportunity for the points battle to be a 3-way battle between the SFTV drivers next week. Unfortunately, this 92 machine did not have that 0x bonus points here, so it's going to be unfortunately a few points missing here, but he should be within 10 points here. It just seems like out of the 3, Carbonell is probably one of the best, and unfortunately him missing the double points race at Austria kind of put him in a hole, and with Japot missing this week, it was able to kind of dig himself out of that hole. And a 10A for the final time, and the 10B the final time. Finally through turn number 12. Luke Carbonell is a 4-time winner on the GT3 season. And like I said, he's pretty good job. And I mean, he's gonna, I say, dig himself back into the points battle. Habitat, I think I'm taking a look at points coming in. He was 51 back. The second place finish might have him have an opportunity to put himself back in the points battle. Not mathematically eliminated, but he's going to go ahead and finish P2 tonight. Kevin Hash, he's quite a ways from the start finish line, entering what looks to be 10A and B. Another driver who had an opportunity to gain some points here and kind of put him back into the points battle. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough for him to get fully back into the points battle, unfortunately. Neither did Habitat, but he's going to go home P3. And Rittenauer, I think, was lucky enough to escape on that pit stop to get himself P4, as Rob Stewart, being unfortunately a lap down, could not get P5. Dylan Hill will come home P6, who's currently on pit road. The only other car on track would be Sawyer Ott. Yeah, let's see when this all cycles out. I want to make sure, because 4th and 5th can be a little bit different here, depending on timing and scoring once things are said and done. Once the timing and scoring is different, it's going to be correct. Ray Rittenauer will finish 4th, Rob Stewart 5th, Dylan Hill 6th, Klooster, who's 7th, Paul Smith 8th, Sawyer Ott 9th, Chris Gale and Tresnott didn't even start the event tonight. We'll finish your final running order. Let's go ahead and get that off your screen and show you those race results. There's your race results. And again, from the look of the things, I mean, Carbonell, I think for sure is within the points battle again. And even Kevin Hash might be within the points again. But we'll go ahead and talk to Carbonell. I think Carbonell should be happy about this one. I mean, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't be happy about this win. It now pretty much gives him the opportunity to go out next week at Road America and compete for the title.
Yep, well, of course, I think, I think that it's over even. I should have a Hicks point incident to be able to reach Eric Drapeau, but But honestly, it's gonna be really tough next week, and I think that it's gonna play between Olivier and Eric, and the one who's gonna win the Road America gonna win the championship.
You're calling it now, saying winner next week potentially between Kirkhope and Drapeau would be your championship winner, even though Kirkhope has to make up 5 points.
I mean, to be honest, if I'm looking the standing, I got 25, so I'm now at 115. I'm 10 points behind Eric. So
Yeah, you're still it's still a tough battle for you.
yeah,
sure.
because I need to pick the pole and the fastest lap, and I need to have the no incident point, because that point at that part it will have given me 11 points, and if Drapeau finished third, I could win by 1, because I would have 1 point ahead of Drapeau and Turcotte. Well, in that case, it's becoming a little bit too complicated.
Right now the math is we'll figure out the math. We'll have the math for the folks next week. I might even post in the Discord if I can use a calculator, right? But let's go ahead and talk about this week. You came out here and you had yourself a dominating race, and it seems like when it comes to your race wins, they're all dominating race wins.
Well, gotta be honest. I didn't do the job at most part. It was a bit hard to try to reach the breaking point and the apex correctly when you have the habitude to just erase this track on GT4. That doesn't help a lot. But I mean, it was really dominating. The fact that Drapeau and Turcotte were not there just give me a chance, because it's been really rare all season long that Brandon was really close of us. So I'm gonna take this win. I'm proud of it. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Sorry. So yeah, I'm proud of my win. I've done everything that I've done. I thought at some point maybe change the tire on the last stint, just try to reach a lower point on the fastest lap, but I was like 30 seconds ahead of Brandon.
I think if you change the tire, it would
Yeah,
still
but
been within 18
but
seconds at most.
it would have been really risky to just that kind of move when you already got the huge gap behind you.
Yeah, we did see someone rack off a pit road on cold tires too. So I mean, I think it was the right call just going into that splash of fuel. I mean,
Exactly.
you had the fastest lap by almost a half a second.
Okay, that's good.
So there's no one taking that bonus point away from you tonight. The only one you did lose was that unfortunate 3 bonus points for a clean race. But again, without Turco or Drapeau here, it's pretty much, I guess I'd say, kind of like a double points race for you, kind of like an Austria kind of situation. Not 100% because you're not actually scoring double points. It just kind of gets you closer to that point.
But I gotta be honest, I made a mistake in Sebring, right? Okay, it's fine.
Right.
I've been hurt from behind. That cost me maybe 5 position, even 6. So from there, yes, it was my fault there, but counting the fact, if you're looking at the fact, Australia is double point for everything. So if you got a fastest lap, it's double point. If you got a pole, it's double point. So Austria is gonna cost me a lot, because if I would have do this race and skip another one that didn't count as double, as simple, I would lead actually the championship. So I mean, it's just extrapolation from there. But for this week, I'm proud of it, and we'll see what's gonna happen next week.
All right, now before we go ahead and let you go and take a look at that potentially tricky battle you have next week at Road America, is there anyone you'd like to thank, shout out? Oh, the points are actually updated. You're 14 points back. That doesn't seem right.
I want to shout out to the Carabin Université de Montréal, who is my athletic team. And also, I just want to say shout out to SFTV, your French reference on sim racing. And also, I just want to say congratulations to Eric Godot-Drapeau because he didn't finish in second place this week.
That's 100% true. Congratulations on your 4th win of the season. We'll see you next week at a very tough points battle.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good week, Alex.
You too.
Bye.
As that was race winner, Luke Carbonell, we'll go ahead and pull up into the booth. Runner-up finisher. And unfortunately, according to the numbers I see here, mathematically eliminated from the points battle, Brandon Pamitat.
What's going on, sir?
You got a P2 finish tonight.
Yeah, half the French Canadian Air Force and their F-18s were missing tonight, but their captain was definitely out there tonight. Kept up with him early, then I made a bunch of mistakes, got the car loose a few times, sent it through the grass over the hill once, but even if I wanted to, he was always a few tenths faster than me, even when I was pushing my hardest. So Luke was flying tonight. He's such a good driver. It's really hard to compete with him, but I was able to hold off a P2, so I'm happy with that.
Now, I do have a question. Was it kind of like a Hail Mary shot there to come in when you did on pit road, trying to see if you could cut into any of the gap there?
Yeah, definitely. The gap got so big after 2 mistakes that I made. I kept them to about 5 seconds, give or take 5-6 seconds for a majority of that first run, and even that first pit stop, he got out a little over 10 seconds because I made a little mistake before that. And then that second mistake really killed me because that added like another 15 seconds. So now he was almost 20 to 30 out in front of me. So I was really curious to see if I could make up that time by pitting as early as I did. But in the end, it really didn't make a mistake. He ran it really good, really low, and he only really needed to fill up like a splash and go. So his time on pit road was not really equivalent to make up the ground that I needed. But I think I still finished pretty much before the 2 mistakes, give or take, like I said, 28 seconds out.
It's a heck of a run for you tonight. You did cut in to that points gap, but unfortunately, my quick math, says you're mathematically eliminated. But that 3rd place battle, 4th place battle is still available.
Yeah,
would you say a 4th place in points?
For sure. Oh yeah, for sure. The guys, Eric, Olivier, and Luke, they're, like I said, those guys are hell of a driver. It's really hard to compete with them, just because they're so fast everywhere you go, and very very limited mistakes are made. I've noticed between those guys. So it's really hard when you're trying to push hard and you make a mistake and they run a consistent race. So they were able to get that points gap definitely out there, and it's definitely a battle between them now. And all I'm really set on is fighting Kevin for that 4th spot.
We're gonna have a lot of points positions settled next week at Road America. Before we go ahead and let you sound like probably go to bed, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, of course. I want to thank my dad as always for watching the broadcast and stuff. I want to thank you, Alex, for the broadcast this season. I've gone back and watched all of them. They've been really good, and I'm excited for the future, I believe, because correct me if I'm wrong, but you're broadcasting trucks, right?
Yes, we'll be broadcasting trucks starting September 11th.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that. we're going to be running trucks with a great broadcast, so that should be great. I want to thank honestly the guys in this league. Road racing is not easy, but we have kept it exceptionally clean for the entire season. I'm guilty of my own mistakes, but overall, I'm really impressed with the looking for the word, I guess, like caring, I guess, when driving. I'm not using the right word there, but there's a lot of patience, and everyone races each other with respect. So it's really cool to see that on a GT series.
I have to agree with that. Congratulations on your P2 finish tonight. We'll go ahead and see you next week at Road America.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can take home that 4th place.
Should be a very exciting battle. As that was our runner-up finisher tonight in Brain Pamitat, and that just leaves one more interview for us tonight. In our 3rd place finisher, the 03 machine. The 03 machine finished 3rd tonight, and Kevin Hash.
Yes, sir.
P3 finish. I mean, I kind of was kind of like a quiet race for you tonight.
Yeah, I was really hoping it was going to be closer to a 44 lap race, and we kind of had the strategy set for that. And then I seen the unbelievable pace that Luke and Brandon had, and that was when I kind of realized, it's going to be 45. There's no way I can save and make that without just giving up an unbelievable amount of time. So it's kind of one of those situations of trying to play the strategy and then audible in last minute, and luckily it paid off. But yeah, we was worried there for a minute. I thought we was going to be kind of caught in the middle of no man's land, not able to get back where I thought we could finish.
Now, did Ray end up being a lap short?
I'm pretty sure, because I was kind of questioning the same thing, because I seen he was able to go an additional lap past me, and I went one past the leaders, and I'm like, okay, he might be able to make it here. And then
I thought he was also able to make it, because he pitted right around halfway when I saw leaders coming about 27 minutes in. I knew they weren't going to make it. So when I saw him pit about halfway, I thought he was going to make it.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a thing where you had to just save so much throughout the run that if you started to pick it up any, or you started to kind of, get restless and wanted to actually try to run the laps you could run, that was kind of the same thing that called me during the second run. I'm like, I could probably make it on fuel, but, at that point, like, I'm not going to be able to beat Brandon on that strategy. I'm not going to be able to remotely get close to Luke, and I knew I was pretty much racing Rob Stewart and Ray there after Kloosterhuis had his issues, so I was like, well, if I just got to audible, go as hard as I can, and plan on just taking a little bit of fuel. But yeah, I think Ray had to stop like right before Luke finished, so he was in pit road, just had crossed the line right when Luke crossed the line. So, I mean, technically kind of a lap down, but I guess we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, timing and scoring has him plus 1 minute 41 seconds, so take that as you want.
Yeah.
Now, so I'm gonna ask this question because I kind of assumed you were saving fuel there on that first stint when Kloosterhuis got by you. Is that correct?
Yeah. I started kind of, I would run the first half of the lap all the way up until the sharp right-hander getting onto the straightaway, trying to just run my normal run through there because it was so rhythmic through there. And then we try to run varying upshifting early and running partial throttle, just see what was making the best fuel numbers. And it got to the point to where it was like, well, we got to start saving everywhere if we want to make it. Really, if I'd have been a little bit more patient with it, I probably could have won another lap, because as we was coming in the pits for that first stop, it told me I had one more lap of fuel, but we didn't want a chance running out and being in a even worse situation. But yeah, we started saving, and I was like, well, if I let Brandon go, and my crew chief asked me, he said, do you think you can catch him? I'm like, I think I can run him down. I was like, passing him's going to be a whole other story, but I think I could run him back down. And that's when we let him go. And then I hated to see that happen, because I was kind of going to use him as my target of what I had to run back down to make some ground up. And then he had his issues, so it was like, crap, there went the rabbit I could chase to give me a little bit more drive there.
That is very much true. Now, I'm going to ask this question. I already know this question. Is it easier to save fuel in the the NASCAR trucks, stock cars compared to road cars?
It's weird. I would say probably the new next gen car. I would say you could probably run like in certain situations when you're in fourth, you could run fifth, just where the gear difference is, and easily make that difference. With these, it's kind of a catch because there's so much time you can give up depending on what the car, where the car likes. Like with the Mercedes, it really wants you to run the RPM band out to get all you can get. Whereas cars like the BMW and the Audi love being upshifted a little bit earlier. Like if you watch Luke, when they shift, they're just a little bit quicker in that BMW than like what we do in the Merc. And we've tried it both ways in testing, and the BMW loves it, but the Mercedes wants you to wind it all out till it's screaming before you upshift it to get all you can get out of it.
I did notice that. I went on board with both Pamitat and Carbonell, and they were shifting through 10A and 10B. They were shifting to third in the middle of that. And I see everyone else was shifting after they got off the corner.
Yeah, and that too, it kind of depends which car. Like, I feel like the BMW has a little bit better rear grip in situations. On mechanical side, I feel like the Mercedes may have a little bit more aerodynamic grip, but like you could tell there's certain sections, like especially during that last run, Pamitat's trying to save just a little bit there. Like I was able to stay really close to him, but I mean, if you look at the shift patterns, the line, everything, kind of the line's pretty close. But as for the gears that you're in and what you're trying to do to create that momentum down the straightaways is a big difference there.
That is true. Now, looking at the current point situation, you're technically mathematically eliminated from winning a title. That's the most points you can gain in a race. Is if none of the top three ran, were like to be 25. But you do have an opportunity to potentially get up to second and third. Do you think that's possible going into next week at Road America?
It really depends who all shows up. I feel like for me, I kind of set my goals after seeing the lap times that Eric, Oliveira, and Luke could run. I'm like, well, if I can be the highest finishing American, I will be very happy. And that's kind of been my goal. And I know Pamitat's not going to make it easy on me. I think we only got a 5-point difference between us. So that's kind of my own battle for itself. Now, if issues happen to Oliveira and Luke, definitely would love to get in the podium in the points, but it's kind of one of those things. I almost feel like they're kind of in their own class. They're in like the prototype class, whereas I'm in the GT class. I'm gonna try to box in my own weight class here if I can.
That's what Pamitat was saying as well. Now, before we go ahead and let you go enjoy the rest of your evening, if that just means you're going to go ahead and go to bed because it's 10 o'clock, almost 11 o'clock your time. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to or thank before we let you go?
Yeah. I'm just going to give a huge shout out to Larry, Ray, and Freeze. Even when Freeze doesn't race, he tries to help us out some, practicing and everything else. So I definitely got to give all three of them a shout out. Larry for putting up with me and dealing with being my crew chief. I know it definitely can't be the easiest job in the world. Ray for being another person that we can bounce stuff off of and aggravate each other and make each other push even harder. The first night that we did practice, he was about second faster, and then I started busting off a lot quicker lap times and made him have to step his game up. So that's what kept us from being 3 or 4 seconds off here. So definitely just thankful for them, you for the broadcast, and Dylan for setting all this up.
Well, congratulations on your P3 finish tonight. We'll see a very exciting, at least P4 battle in points next week between you and Pamitat.
Yep, sounds good.
As that was our third place finisher, Kevin Hash. And that should wrap up the interviews tonight. Dan, the replay of the race will be actually accessible for you. As soon as I click end stream, you should be able to actually watch this whole thing. Didn't really miss much. It's another Carbonell win. But appreciate you coming out here in the chat. But we'll be back next week, same time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, here on the Iron Thunder Racing Network. We'll be live from Road America. And then 2 weeks from yesterday, September 11th, we'll be live from the virtual Daytona International Speedway for the first round of the Truck Series. Maybe if I, get to work on the Truck Series score bug, we might be live for the potential recruitment race we see Monday night. But that should do